Welcome back to Living Local. The Alzheimer's Association of Iowa is hosting a virtual education series this month for veterans and caregivers.
And here to tell us more about it and how you can get involved is Megan Olsen, Regional Manager of Community Engagement for the Alzheimer's Association. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome. Welcome.
You know, before we get into talking about the classes and the nitty-gritty, let's just talk about how many people are living with Alzheimer's here in the Quad Cities and nationally. It's probably more than we want.
It is more than we want, that is for sure. And so it's even more than the number I'm going to give you, because what I'm going to say is those involved are over the age of 65.
Okay.
We know this disease can unfortunately affect those under the age of 65 too. So there's about 315,000 in Iowa and in Illinois specifically that are diagnosed over the age of 65. And that doesn't include their countless caregivers. So with every person who's been diagnosed, there's at least 2 to 3 caregivers, at least, that are involved with this. And unfortunately, we know as well, you know, it could be a best friend, a mom, a sister, a brother, a child, someone from church, and the number just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah. So this education series that you have coming up is virtual. Give us the details on what people can expect and when exactly they're taking place.
Yes, so the best part about it being virtual is anyone can attend.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
Nice. As I was mentioning, all those potential caregivers. So from 12 until 1, we have this virtual series happening. So the first 30 minutes, we're going to be specifically talking about a dementia Alzheimer's topic. And then the second half, we'll be talking about veteran resources that exist. And so from that standpoint, unfortunately, the disease affects veterans more than non-veterans. And so we'll dive deeper into that specifically during those hours.
Okay.
And how do people sign up for that? Exactly. Is it the website the easiest thing?
It would be. Website's the easiest thing to sign up for it. Yep.
Okay. And like you said, different topics too, right?
So healthy living for your brain and body is the first one that we'll be talking about. And so everyone asks me, how do I avoid this? What if there is a familial line? What do I need to do? That is going to address that specific cause. And then from there, they'll talk about Iowa Medicaid resources. They'll also have the ability then on the next one, we'll be talking about additional ways in the care models and support that exist. Because a lot of people don't realize that there are so many options that are available. And then again, with that second part, we'll be talking about VA resources specifically. So spouses can get VA resources, and a lot of people also don't know that. So tuning into both of those or a mix of them, we can always give you past recordings too, can really just make sure that you can be prepared for the future.
And this is not something that people think that they should even be aware of, but it's important to kind of know about it. And so, you know, that's what these classes are designed to do. But why is it so important for you to make sure that people are educated?
We're really trying to break the stigma that exists with the diagnosis of dementia. A lot of people think, oh my gosh, I've been diagnosed, that's it. We're here to help them through that, help them navigate the journey. And honestly, the more proactive you can be, the more prepared you'll be for the future. And again, if the person is recently diagnosed, there's treatments that are available. We want people to know that it's not just the end when you get that diagnosis. So the education, of course, is the first step, but then we have support groups. We have so many more things. Then the care network expands from there, because we want them to know they're not alone in the journey.
So veterans and military members, they face a higher risk of developing this disease. Why is this population at a higher risk?
So a lot of people may not realize, traumatic brain injury, they may think that is an instantaneous thing, but unfortunately in combat it could have been a reaction to an explosion where, you know, it may have been misdiagnosed right at first. And so traumatic brain injury, PTSD, post-traumatic stress, that is something as well that can really affect the brain and affect the way that people are reacting to those situations. And then Agent Orange is another one that also has affected many, many people throughout the country.
And you know, people that are in the early stages of this, they just may not know the resources that are available. So talk to us a little bit about what the organization does and, you know, how people can kind of get in touch with you and talk about those steps a little bit. So any sort of care and support models or references, that is where we are at the Alzheimer's Association. I say our
biggest opportunity, though, is our 24/7 helpline. At any moment in time, you can call and speak with an individual who is equipped to have either sometimes the hardest conversations, or they could get you signed up for the class. That is the beauty of it. And then locally, I can connect you with anything that might be happening in the area. And that's really the biggest thing is, again, the amount of senior resources that exist, it just keeps expanding, and that's what we want people to know.
Yeah, because when you first hear about the news and someone's diagnosed, they don't realize all those resources that are offered here in our community. And again, you're offering some of these educational opportunities like this throughout the year. Where can people go to see those events that are coming up in the future? Your website, is that the best place?
The website is the best place, so alz.org/Iowa. That will get you to our calendar, and you can check out any of the other opportunities in the area. You can also narrow it down by your zip code, because again, we are covering the whole state and of course counties on the Illinois side as well. And so there might be in-person support groups, in-person educations, and things along those natures. And then if you're ever like, hey, I'm interested in, we can always bring that education to the person that's interested in learning more as well.
Awesome. Some great resources you guys provide, and so much support for folks in our community. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, for more information, you can go to alz.org/Iowa.
And we'll have all those details posted at ourquadcities.com.